This is not the object of today's video. This is a DAC. Why is it here? We'll get to that. The object of today's video is this. This is the iFi Audio Zen DAC. And this is a little DAC that's USB only for data input. So it's primarily designed to work with computers or media servers. Is it any good? Let's find out. What's cracking, audio fans? It's David here from Prime Audio Reviews. So I've got the Zen DAC here. I won't bother showing you the box because there's not a whole lot going on in there. You do get some RCA cables. You also get this ridiculous USB cable which actually powers the device. It doesn't have a separate 5-volt power supply, which is fine. I mean, this works great, but it is so bloody short. I can't even plug it into my computer tower and have it reach the table. It's too short. So iFi Audio, please, we appreciate the value here, which I'll get to explain later, but you got to give us a better or longer USB cable, please. I got a few things. I got a busy table going on here today. I don't even remember why I put that there, but that is my precious. Anyway, back to this for a quick moment. Why did I put that there? Oh yeah, because this is the Acoustic Research AR20 DAC. This is the M20, all right. But the reason I got it here is because this has a Burr Brown DAC chip in it. And I've always loved the sound of this baby, even though it's only got a mingus little single-ended output and a micro USB. But that's beside the point. The Burr Brown, what is it called? True tone, perfect tone, something or other. Anyway, it's a bit perfect DAC chip, and that is the one that you'll find in here. And before we go any further, I'll tell you the price of this little guy, because this is $189 US. To put that into perspective, how am I going to do that? Oh, I forgot to bloody hang on a minute. Okay, so this is $189. Now to put that into perspective, this thing, the Earman Sparrow, this is $199. Now, true enough, this is a great sounding little dongle DAC. So, and it's more suitable obviously for phones and things. But $199, it's actually $10 more than this thing, and this thing has got a steel chassis or aluminium chassis that's built like a tank. It's got some real heft to it. Oh, it's got some heft to it. It's got some heft to it. But anyway, the price doesn't matter if it sucks. So we'll try and get on with the video. Anyway, let's have a look at what you get on the front panel. I've already told you, inside it's a Burr Brown DAC chip. On the front panel here, you got a 6.35mm unbalanced headphone out, 4.4mm Pentacon balanced headphone out. You got your potentiometer here, which is nice and smooth, beautiful smooth action. And there's a little LED behind that that lights up when it's powered on, and it changes color depending on the current sample rate, which is pretty neat. But here you got your true bass. Now this is basically a bass boost function. But what's neat about this one is it doesn't add any DSP or digital sound processing. It's a fully analog bass boost. So, and it works really well. So, and finally here is the power match button. Now this is a dynamic gain switch. And if you turn that on, it basically reads the load from the headphones that you've got plugged in, and it will automatically adjust the power output to compensate for that. So if you got something like this, for example, these little babies, this is the notorious Tin Hi-Fi P2, and these are some power hungry little buggers. So for example, if you plug these in, you're probably find that they're not very loud or not loud enough. But if you bump the power match button on, it'll boost that signal and give you more power. I'm not going to get too techie in this review, but let me just say that these do have plenty of power, even with the tin Hi-Fi P2 here. With the power match switched on, I wasn't going above for sort of about 50% on the volume pot. About that was kind of my limit volume wise for what I like to listen to. Look, whether or not it delivers the best performance the P2 can do, I'm not going to get into that. Like, I still think these are great. They were almost amazing. Well, in fact, they are still pretty amazing, but check out the review if you want to see about those. The P2, the Zen DAC can push those, not a problem. I also tried, these are my Empire Ears Bravado IEMs, you know, custom dual driver, 1 DD, 1 BA, awesome bass head little in-ear monitors there, awesome. Not the most sensitive, but work great on these. Don't need the true bass switched on with these, let me tell you, that's for sure. But with let me talk quickly about this power match. If you got a real sensitive IEM, for example, a multi-BA IEM, and you keep the power match turned off, and it'll reduce the power. Like, the output impedance on this is like less than 1 ohm, but keep the power match off, it keeps the signal nice and low, the noise floor is nice and quiet, so you get that nice black background. You won't get any hiss with sensitive earphones. But if you plug something like this in and need that extra power, hit the power match button and you're good to go. All right, so I'm a bit all over the place today. I don't think I've done a DAC video before. Yeah, I probably have. I can't bloody remember. But anyway, let's go and look at the back panel now. The back panel where all the goodies happen. So there's only one input on the Zen DAC, and that is the USB. Yeah, some might be unhappy with that. For me, I think it's great because my entire music library lives on my computer. So USB is perfect for me. I get access to all my music there. So ideally, actually it can work with a phone with an OTG cable, but there's not many people have got pockets big enough for that, really. So yeah, keep it on the desktop is my advice. And for that purpose, this works a treat. So it's a USB in only. But as far as outputs go, you've got another Pentacon 4.4mm balanced output here. Now this can actually go to XLR. So this can actually give you a full balanced stereo output. So if you want to use this as a preamp, for example, you can send that out to a power amp, or you can plug it straight into powered monitors. And if you are using powered speakers or monitors, for example, you want to keep this switch set to variable because that means you can control the volume from here. But if you whack it over to fixed position, that just gives you the full-on 100% boost, full-on 100% signal, and you can't control the volume. One little neat feature is if you have this set to fixed, the headphone outputs are disabled, and that's actually very clever because if, for example, you forgot that you were on fixed mode and you started playing music, if the headphone jacks were operational, you could very easily blow out your eardrums or destroy your headphones. Not these ones, because they'll take as much power you can throw at them. But these ones, yeah, you might blow them up or you'll do damage to your hearing. You don't want to do that. So that's a cool feature. But anyway, I keep it on variable because I've been using this primarily as a headphone amp, DAC amp. So let's get back to the back panel. So you got your balanced out, you got your fixed and variable line out switch, you've got a basic RCA output here, so you can send this again to another amp. And then this is the USB in, and then finally you've got a 5 volt DC in, power in. Now, they don't actually provide a power supply in the box. This is an optional extra. And for my testing, I really don't think I would ever need that extra power. But if you really want the absolute best performance out of this, if you regularly drive really intense headphones, or in this case earphones, then you might want that full-on power, that unwavering full output power, and that's what the 5 volt is for. But for me, yeah, I don't need that at all. Happy with the USB. Still got heaps of power out of this thing. So yeah, headphones, no worries. I was using it with things like this, the Hi-Fi Man Sundara, easy to drive. Yes, the stock cable on that is single-ended only, but there's still heaps of power. I didn't even need to turn on the power match for those headphones. I tried a few other things, but basically got enough power in this little guy to drive pretty much everything that I have on hand. So it's really good. But wow, I've been talking so much, I forgot to actually tell you about how this thing sounds. So let's do that right now. And so this is the iFi Zen DAC, and I think they've chosen a really good name for this because the presentation of this is very sort of calm and composed, but it's very powerful as well. It feels powerful. It feels sort of effortless in its presentation. It's a little bit smoothed up top in the treble. Basically fairly neutral, but if you want more bass, you just hit this button and you are good to go. You get that extra bass response. But without that, it is a reasonably neutral signal. Like I said, maybe a little bit softened or smoothed out on the treble end, but it's just a very calm sound. But having said that, it's not a dull or a boring sound. It's not a sleepy little DAC. It has excellent resolution, detail. One thing that really surprised me with this is the soundstage, the quality of the soundstage that you get with this little DAC. It is fantastic. Nice and wide, plenty of depth there, excellent separation, excellent layering, really holographic 3D sort of stage. That is assuming you use a good pair of headphones or earphones with it. But yeah, the soundstage is fantastic. The sound quality, audio quality is really very good. When you consider the price of this guy, like $189, this thing sounds phenomenal. And iFi Audio, I don't know how they did it, man, but this is such a solid, well-built little thing. When you hear it and you touch it and feel it, you'd be amazed when you think that it only costs 189 bucks. Compared to something like the little FIO K3 here, look, I still love this little guy. If you're primarily using efficient in-ear monitors that don't need much power, this is still a great little option. It also has a bass boost. It also has dual gain mode. Of course, it's got nowhere near the power output of this thing, but if you're strapped for desktop space, you've got a really small space, for example, this is a great solution. It's also got a optical out and a coaxial out, which might be really handy for some people because, yeah, this has only got the 4.4 and the RCA. But anyway, so I still love this little guy, but even though this one costs a bit more, I think this is getting into sort of hi-fi territory. This is a great entry-level product for anyone who wants to start getting serious about their audio, especially computer-related audio, because yeah, the USB only thing. But I think I've rambled on enough about this thing. I don't know what else to say really. It sounds good, it feels good, it looks pretty dope. It's so easy to use. It's got extra features and functions. It's just, in my experience, I have not seen anything in this price range that can do what this does. I think this is just absolutely great and I highly recommend it. So that's it for this video, guys. If you liked it or found any value, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see more reviews like this in the future, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And until next time, I'll see you later.